Hi friends, how are you all doing? I hope everyone's doing safe and are staying positive. Today I'm going to talk about Vastu and Feng Shui. How is Vastu and Feng Shui related to each other? I come across a lot of people asking me what are the similarities and what is the difference between both of them. There are people who believe that Vastu is in science which only deals with the architecture outside of the buildings, and Feng Shui is something dealing with the interiors of the building. But there's a confusion between all this. But what exactly? Vastu and Feng Shui are dealing with the same science. They basically are dealing how to maintain harmony in nature with the person. So with the owner of the house, with the owner of the property, how to get in harmony in the nature. So it's the same thing. It just deals how to maintain harmonious relationships in the house with everyone and commercially also with everyone. Vastu Feng Shui are both very closely related to each other. Both are based on the idea of Qi, or you can say Feng Shui, we use the word Qi, or you can say energies, positive energies in Vastu. So both are actually very similar to each other. The energy vibrations are same, but only the distinctive personality which is there is that again it deals with the harmony of the nature, so that there's a positive vibration in the house and there's a positive flow of the energy in the house. So again, they both are the same, but there are several elements in Vastu, and the same way there are elements in Feng Shui. The elements in Vastu including are Jal, Vayu, Prithvi, Akash and Agni. In Feng Shui, it is water, wood, earth, metal and fire. So Hindi or English, just the same. Yes. Now we talk about the remedies and the solutions in the Feng Shui. First, I would always tell people that always refer a practitioner or a person who has a degree or probably is dealing into all this. Do not go for people, or do not just go for the Google online translations. No, that's not going to work, because you need to know how the energies are supposed to flow in the house. What are you supposed to do? And I'm sure only a person, a practitioner can only tell this. So please abide by those rules so that you see positive changes in your house and your offices. So the basic cure or the basic energy which is flowing in the Feng Shui, because today we're just going to talk about Feng Shui and nothing about Vastu. So the basic energies which flow in the energy, or the elements which rule Feng Shui, are electricity, colors, water, symbol, crystals, sounds, life movement, mirrors. All these include they play a small important part in Feng Shui and in our house as well as commercially. So these things play a very small part. And when we see this part, when we see the small parts, they lead to big changes in our house, in our lives, in our health, in our prosperity, in everything in the house actually. Let's talk about first light. What is all light about? I always tell people that aap koshish kariye, try that you have a natural light in the house, a lot of light. Open your windows, open your doors. I know it's not possible to open doors in Western countries, but definitely open your windows, open all the areas so that you get a good amount of light, which is very important. Natural light, sunlight is very important flowing in the house. If your room is dark and your house is dark, you cannot do that, then put natural lamps, put Himalayan salt lamps, put candles, put something which lifts the energy of the house, because it is very important that there's a lot of good flowing light in the house. In fact, if your ceilings are low, then try, if your ceilings are low in the house, then try putting, again, lamps or spotlights, so that, there's a lot of light in the house. It's very important to maintain good light in the house to see substantial difference in your life. And yes, I would say the restrooms, probably, the room you're resting, probably bedrooms, you don't need a lot of light there. But the rooms which are active, your children's rooms, the study room, the library room, your living room where you sit all the time, make sure that's well lit all the time. It's very important that there should be a lot of natural light, or probably artificial light. Try artificial light or natural light flowing in the house, or flowing in those rooms particularly, to see light in your life as well. Then we talk about water. How does water affect the flow of energies in the house? When we talk about water, There's a lot of flow of energy. There's a lot of energy in the water. So make sure that you have indoor or outdoor fountains in the house, and make sure the water is clean all the time. You keep changing that water probably once in a week. The basic aim is that the water should not smell bad. It should not get stagnant, because once the water starts smelling dirty, and there's a lot of stagnation comes in your life. So make sure it's very good for money increase in flow. So make sure there's a good amount of water flowing. You should have indoor. If you can put it even indoor, you can even put it outdoor, but definitely water should be there. There's a big difference between Vastu and Feng Shui. The big difference is that, in Vastu, we always worship goddess Lakshmi, and we say Lakshmi represents the money flow in the house, right? Goddess Lakshmi, ke aap idol lagao, so it will represent money flow. But in Feng Shui, the difference is they say that the moving water, the movement of water definitely represents money flow in the water, money increase in the life. So, these are the small differences which Vastu and Feng Shui have. Vastu also talks about, the mirror should never be on the or facing north or east wall. But in Feng Shui, nothing is like that. So, there's a little bit difference in Vastu and Feng Shui. But when we balance both of these, we see substantial differences in our life and positivity in our life, which I always say. Okay, then let's talk about the living beings. It's very important. Feng Shui plays a very important part of living beings in the house. Make sure you have pets. If you don't have pets, that's fine. But if you have pets, take care of your pets properly. Pets bring in a lot of positive energy in the house, and that is actually true. Have natural plants in your house. Avoid artificial plants. Have natural plants in your house. You will see a drastic change in positivity in the house. Have something, not only you're staying there. In fact, there should be more living beings, plants, pets, these living beings bring in a lot of positivity in your home. When you do these small changes in your house, you see a lot of difference. Make sure even you put a bamboo plant at your work desk. It's going to bring in a lot of good career opportunities, career advancements. Then we talk about mirrors again. So mirrors can be used to balance the room, which are probably irregular in shape, because in Vastu and Feng Shui, the rooms need to be very balanced out in shapes. If that's not possible, then make sure that you have mirrors to balance out, because mirrors can even create optical illusions. Mirrors can reflect positive energies, brighten up spaces, but make sure you don't have any mirror in your bedroom facing the bed. There should be no mirror facing the bed, facing the toilet door, and facing the entry door of your room. So these 3 points, not at all. Make sure these 3 points are not there. And yes, mirrors should never be left dirty. There should be no distortion in your mirrors. Make your mirrors clean, because if your mirrors are clean, you are reflecting positive energy. I always say cleanliness is very, very important. In Vastu, in Feng Shui, in any science, your house should be clutter free, should be very sorted, should be clean to see positive energies flowing in a house. Because if your house is clean, your mind is clean, your physical aura is clean, the environment is clean, your positive energy, you vibrate positive energy. When you vibrate positive energies, everything around you gets clean and gets very sorted. So please do this. And yes, in Vastu, we always say, there is a use of different mirrors. But in Feng Shui, we usually use Pakwa mirror. Whenever you have a tree facing your house or an electricity pole facing your house, we always keep a Bagua mirror outside your house. It should never be inside the house, so that it reflects in the negative energies outside only, and only brings in positive energies in your home. And one more tip I would like to give you related to light only, that if you have a L-shaped house, then put a tall lamp outside your house. It's very important. Put a tall lamp in your garden or outside your house, or a major part of a light should be there outside your premises, so that you see the difference. There is no negative energy flowing in your house. Then we talk about crystals. Crystals are perfect way to energize dark and dull rooms. Oh, my battery is running low. Sorry guys, my battery was running low. Yes, so crystals are perfect way to energize and bring just positivity in your home and in your aura. So again, when we talk about crystals, the crystal should always be faceted. That's very important. If your crystals are faceted, you will see a lot of removal of blockages in your house. Again, it brings in good luck, and if crystals are in the southwest corner, it brings family peace in the house. It encourages good relationships in the house. But if the crystals are placed in east, it encourages career growth, career advancement. Hang in crystal balls on your window or probably your main door, so that it reflects in positive energy in your home or in your offices. It's very important. But remember, crystals should never be placed in the north direction. Don't place your crystals in the north direction. Then let's come to the fourth element, that is sound. Now we talk about sound. In Feng Shui, how does wind chimes play a very important role? I always say, in fact, play a good music when when you wake up in the morning. Have good music around you. I'm not saying any bhangra or any peppy music. No, I mean something subtle which gives your mind peace, because you're starting your day fresh. So make sure that you have some good music around you, a subtle sound, or a refreshing, or probably you have wind chimes, so that it reduces negative energies and reduces all the blockages in your energy path. Use metal wind chimes or wooden wind chimes in the north, east or northeast direction. Whereas in the south, southwest, southeast directions, you can use terracotta balls, you can use ceramic wind chimes, you can use bamboo wind chimes, because again, these wind chimes bring in a lot of positivity. And according to your date of birth, make sure the wind chime count is like that, odd or even. So if you're an odd number, go for an odd wind chime number. If you're an even number, go for an even wind chime bells or the wind chime hangings. Now I'm going to talk about electricity objects like TV, computer, laptops, like all the electricity, coffee machines, your microwave, your oven, everything. Try and put it in southeast or east direction. It's going to be very fruitful for you. Make sure it's in this zone, not facing, but the zone allotted to the electrical equipment should always be southeast or east, because the south is considered to be the Agni Kone. So make sure you put that in Agni Kone, and you don't put it in northeast, because northeast is considered to be the water zone. So don't mix fire with water, Try putting this in the Agni Kone, so that you see positivity in your home, because electrical equipments also maintain a lot of positivity. If you put them in the right place, they also bring in a lot of positivity in your home or in your surroundings. Now let's talk about the colors. Every zone is assigned a particular color. Fire, when it's your fire zone, fire representing red and orange color. So make sure you have some red, anything, you put some red or orangish tinge to it. When you do that, when you play with small things, because these are very small things. You don't have to go outside and purchase anything. You in your home only, or in your offices only, you can bring in these changes. And if you do that, trust me friends, you see a lot of drastic changes. And if you still don't, you can always contact a practitioner. You can always get in touch with me. I have mentioned my details. But yes, please do these small changes. You're going to see a lot of positivity in your home. And these days, we all need that positivity, right? We all need that happiness, peace in ourselves, in our home and in our surroundings, right? So yes, the colors we're talking about, every zone is assigned a particular color. So fire zone being the red and orange color. So you can add anything red to it. You can add a red mat. You can add red flowers to it. You can add probably, a small red spotlight to it. So, you can just play with these. In fact, you can even put the rose diffuser, because the red rose is diffuser, because it's a red rose diffuser. It's also going to, just spread its fragrance beautifully in that zone, so that you get a lot of name and fame, right? And then we talk about earth. So the earth element should always be brown and yellow. By brown and yellow, I mean you can add into sunflowers, you can add into anything wooden, anything earthy colors, probably cushion covers like that, or probably a furniture like that. So yes, use the element of wood in that area, because it's an earth element. So use a lot of wood in there. Then we talk about water. The water representing blue and black color. You can add a lot of blue and black color. So people who love dark colors can play with the water zone and see the difference. Then we talk about metal. So the metal zone including white, gold and silver. So you know that dramatic, you can play that area dramatically, you can play with that area. So yes, you know, these colors again will bring in a lot of positivity. Start making sure that you start doing this today and right now to see that positive change in yourself. And yes, remember I told you symbols also play a very important role in Feng Shui. Again, I always say choose a symbol which is appropriate for the purpose of your, whichever purpose you have in your mind. Or you're the best judge, you know the decor of your house, so you're the best judge, you know what will fit in that house, you know what will fit in that zone. So listen to your intuition also, that's very important. Follow your intuition because your gut feelings are never wrong, so follow that also. And choose a symbol which is totally appropriate to that area, to that zone, what purpose you're looking for. So if you're looking to increase your romantic relationships with your partner, go for red roses. Put red roses in that zone. So put a lot of red roses so that your love increases. So these are very small changes. We do them, we see positive changes in our house. And if you have any doubts related to it, I have mentioned my details. Feel free to get in touch and I definitely will clear your queries. Thank you so much for being online, bearing with me and being in this session. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend ahead. Take care. Goodbye.